Hi everyone.
Hello.
Look who's here. It's my sister.
It's only been 6 months.
It's only been 6 months, yes. But life gets in the way, and things happen, and we just haven't been able to meet up until now, have we?
No,
we haven't. But whilst you've been away,
I've been reading.
Laura's been reading a lot. So do you want to talk about how you come to this? As you can probably see from the title, we're going to be talking about the Infernal Devices in this video, because we've got a few videos planned. This is the first of 3 specifically around this kind of stuff.
Because the Infernal Devices needs a video on its own.
Yes, it does,
because it's so good.
Yeah. So do you want to explain how you
basically
got caught up with Cassandra and Clare?
Basically, we were doing our video about OTPs and couples, and I was about 250 pages from the end of A Discovery of Witches.
Yes, you were, yeah.
In that January, I was doing an internet course that I needed to get done by March. So I started reading City of Bones, and because I had to concentrate, it took me forever to get through City of Bones. Which is the first Mortal Instruments book. Yeah. And then March came, I was free, and since March I have just essentially mainlined these books.
Yeah, I think I've read 6.
I'm on my 10th. I'm on my 10th Cassandra Clare book now, because I'm reading the Bane Chronicles at the moment. Yeah,
but I mean, since March, because March was when you started the Infernal Devices, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, I read the Infernal Devices in 17 days.
Yeah, so
Easter.
So it was a book series, as you guys know, because I have reread and reviewed all the Mortal Instruments on this channel, and I read for the first time the Infernal Devices on this channel in the first year that I started, and I got into Cassandra Clare's work after seeing the film. The first City of Bones, the book, the first Mortal Instrument book, and I tried to say to you to read them, and Laura was like, "No, it's not my thing."
You see, the thing is,
I think it's that thing that at that time you're in a different headspace with certain genre. It happens to everyone. You're always kicking yourself when you come across an amazing book that you never gave a chance to, and that was what happened with you. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We'll talk about this in the next video, but City of Bones has its problems. Yeah, but we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
But this video, we wanted to do a separate video just to talk about the prequels, the Infernal Devices. Now, when I reviewed them here, I read the Infernal Devices first, and then reread all of the Mortal Instruments, and I thought that worked, but then because her writing standard has increased so much, you kind of go from, if you do prequels, then the instruments, you go from a very high standard to crash down low, and then you build up to high standard again.
See, the way I've done it...
But the way Laura's done it is to do it the way that it was published, because she did the first 3 Mortal Instrument books, and you can see her quality build up. Then she did the prequels, and then she went back and finished the Mortal Instruments. Yeah. And that was how...
that was how I came to it.
So this
I finished Heavenly Fire last week.
Yeah. We've got lots of feels about that. So... we're going to be talking about the Infernal Devices, the prequels, which are the Clockwork Angel, then the Clockwork Prince, then the Clockwork Princess. So 1, 2, 3. So, do you want to start off explaining what the trilogy covers, basically? Well, when it's set, who's our main character, that kind of...
The first thing I will say...
Oh, and before I forget, spoilers! Major spoilers!
Oh God, yes. Spoilers! You'll have to put that in the title.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about this. So
the thing is when I finished City of Glass. The City of Glass is an atomic bomb.
Oh yeah,
in their world. It was fantastic. I loved it. Yeah. So I picked up Clockwork Angel.
First book, yeah.
Which begins in 1878, I believe so.
Let's just do a quick check.
And this girl called Tessa Gray walks off the boat from New York.
It is April
of 1878.
There you go.
And is kidnapped. Now, obviously, I knew that there would be some connection to the Mortal Instruments. Yeah. But I must admit, when I started it, I didn't know how deep that connection was. Yeah, and then Cassandra Clare did something so freaking clever.
She is very clever.
She's so clever. It is ridiculous. So Tessa is rescued by...
I don't know if we said it's London that she's
London,
based.
Yeah.
The Mortal Instruments are based in New York and these are in London. But Tessa is an American who's come over to London.
Which adds to the duck out of water stuff.
Yeah.
So she's rescued from these horrible people by Will and Jem, who come across her. Yes. Will and Jem are William Herondale and James Carstairs, but his nickname is Jem.
Jem, yeah.
Jem is a Chinese-born British boy who came over from China. He is Chinese, his mother was Chinese, and his father was English.
Yes.
And he came from China to live in the Institute when the Beijing Institute basically was overtaken and his parents were murdered.
Yeah. Which
has implications for the next series.
Yes.
Oh my God, these connections, it just drives me mad. Anyway, so obviously we know the names of the people from the Mortal Instruments.
If you've read it in publishing order like Laura did, she was like, oh, Herondale, Carstairs,
and they all live in the London Institute, which is run by Charlotte and Henry Branwell. Now, here's the thing, right? Okay, we've done the spoiler thing.
Yeah.
When I learned that Charlotte's maiden name was Fairchild,
you freaked the hell out.
I freaked the fuck out.
And I'm not kidding you. I got so many voice messages and capital letter messages while I was in work for 17 days. Oh my God! Freaking the hell out.
It was so good, and the shades of the characters from the Mortal Instruments in Will, in Tessa, and I mean the Lightwood family feature very, very much in these books. So you see shades of Alec and Izzy and Robert too, and just I feel like I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. So should we do it like character by character?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because otherwise I'm just going to like babble.
Yeah. Okay.
These 3 videos, by the way, are going to be like just a love fest. Yeah. So if you're expecting anybody to go, well, that was shit. Sorry, that's not going to happen.
Well, it's really interesting that you say that, because I've actually watched back my reaction to the Infernal Devices.
You didn't particularly like
it, did you? Really like it, and I'm like,
I watched them and I'm like,
I was actually shocked myself, but I think the reason why is because, especially at that time, because I was doing 1 book a week.
Yeah, you were
I was
tired.
like, I've got to get this. I've got to film a video. So I literally every week I would put down the book, turn on camera, go, and let it explode. I didn't let it sit. And having let it sit now, I remember so many different elements about it.
When I was sending you
previously, I'd ripped apart.
When I was sending you messages, was I reminding you of things that happened?
I think I was. That I was getting memories that I've forgotten. So there is that as well.
Yeah.
So I think, even though I did rip them apart initially, I think now that I've had that time away, that pause, and I see the arch, the big significant arch, I appreciate them so much more now.
It is absolutely incredible how Cassandra, and I mean particularly with like the short story anthologies, because there are 3 now, because the 3rd one was released on Friday and I bought it because I'm me. So I now own all her books.
Yeah.
And I said to you tonight, I opened it and I saw a name and then promptly burst into tears.
Yeah.
God help me. But it's incredible the way that she's managed to make this series so incredibly emotional.
Yes.
And relatable.
Yeah.
Because of things that had happened in Mortal Instruments, and then going forward with the next 3 books, lines that certain characters say inflections of their character.
Even
and you're,
objects.
oh my god, you are being so like your great-great-granddad right now.
And objects.
Objects and
Izzy's necklace and it's Jace's steel, isn't it? That is from
Stella,
Stella, sorry. It's from the Infernal Devices.
But things like a copy of A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
A copy of the Codex.
Yeah.
And it's just when you see the whole.
Yeah.
Instead of the moving parts.
But then at the same time, I feel like with Cassandra's world and everything, like, because obviously we both haven't read The Dark Artifices yet, I think there's still more of it.
Oh god, yeah.
We think that we've seen the world, we haven't yet.
We really haven't.
We've seen it. We've probably seen like a minuscule bit.
There are 8 more books to come.
Yay! So yeah. So anyway, we said we were going to do character by character, and we haven't yet. So let's talk about Tessa.
My girl.
she is what I wanted Clary to be at the start of the Mortal Instrument books.
Yes.
But the thing is that with Clary, she had a lot of growing up to do, and she does a lot of growing up throughout the Mortal Instruments, but we'll talk about that in a separate book. Whereas Tessa, she has a lot of learning to do, just as Clary did, but it feels like with Tessa, she's like 1 or 2 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because different people respond to things in different ways. And maybe it's also that thing that Cassandra Clare learned from the Mortal Instrument books that she'd written so far at that point, the first 3 books, how to construct things better, how to convey certain things, certain elements, certain people, whatever. And
how to end a trilogy.
Yes.
Because I loved the ending of City of Glass. I think that was lovely. It felt like a completed story.
Yes.
But the ending of this trilogy is as perfect and beautiful a thing I think that I have ever read.
Yeah.
It was devastating.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Yeah.
And I sent you a voicemail.
You were crying.
I was honestly bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing about this love triangle.
Yeah.
There is no triangle.
It's really weird,
It is weird, and yet you totally understand it.
Yeah. Because the thing is that there's, Tessa, as we said, she's our girl. She's
amazing.
And you have Will and you have Jem, who are Parabatai. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing things. So what that means is basically that they're linked in a sense. They kind of feel each other's feelings, and they are warriors together.
Yeah.
And they live for life. And it's kind of like if one of them dies, then basically a bit of you dies with them.
Yeah.
It's your souls are connected.
And the
worst
pain any Shadow Hunter can feel is the loss of their Parabatai.
Yeah. So they are in that situation. And then Tessa comes along.
Yeah, and kind of
blows
a
curveball into
their lives, because she bonds with both of them over books, over music, and over this world that they introduce her to.
Yeah,
and like she doesn't. What I loved about Tessa was that she doesn't immediately reject it because she doesn't understand it.
Yes.
She learns slowly to trust them. I mean, to be fair to her, she has been kidnapped and has been brutalised and has been very, very hurt by her arrival to London.
Yes.
So she just feels like she's been kidnapped by another group of people.
Yes.
And eventually, obviously, she learns that they are Shadowhunters. She learns about their ways, and they bond over this, trying to introduce her to their world, and she becomes an intrinsic part of the London Institute.
Yeah. Because it does feel like, also, or at least I felt like, that Clary's kind of introduction to the Mortal Instrument is very soft. Whereas Tessa's, because she's kidnapped and tortured and all this lot, it feels like she's just had her head slammed into a bucket of ice cold water.
Clary's is quite superficial.
Yeah,
whereas
I think
Tessa's is not.
It feels deeper.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's the thing that Cassandra Clare learned from, writing Clare.
And I have to say, I've got to give Cassandra Clare kudos for this.
Mm-hmm.
She is an American writer.
Yes.
Albeit she's very well travelled.
Yeah.
She clearly did a huge amount of research to write these books. But she made London feel like a place I, as a British person, would recognise.
Yes. Yeah.
Nothing felt out of step.
Yeah.
Or terms that she used to describe, like London slang. It didn't feel forced.
No.
None of it feels forced. The world building of London as a city feels
it's kind of like say, for example, when you see, I know it's a film, but like Moulin Rouge, how it really forces, the way the costume designs or whatever. It's a very modern take on a past, when this is going, we're in the past.
Yeah.
You feel that you were there at that time.
Well, I find it when I read fan fiction.
Yeah.
When you have an American writing, say for example, like Rob Ron fan fiction. Emmerdale. And they say something like they were walking along the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Or they were having pancakes for breakfast.
Yeah.
We don't
do that,
by the way.
We walk along a pavement.
But that's what I'm saying. It's those Americanisms that are dropped in that take you out of the world in your head.
Yeah.
She absolutely slayed that.
Yeah.
And I loved all the quotes from Victorian literature at the beginning of each chapter.
And Bertie Collins, the Woman in White. Which,
guy.
You know how much we loved reading that.
So she,
for the year, so.
The way that the world building was done, was perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
But Tessa Gray,
Tessa is a really strong character, and she. I love the fact how honest she is with everything.
Yeah.
That, she totally recognises when she's in the wrong about stuff.
Yeah.
She will say something to someone if they're being a jerk or, whatever.
That's Will, usually.
Yeah, usually Will. She feels with her entire heart.
Yes, she does. Yes,
and I love her qualities.
Yeah. And she's loyal.
Oh, God, loyalty.
And brave.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely understand why those two boys would fall in love with her.
And with the love in her heart, which she always shows, I think you understand her love for these two boys even more, and you really feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas, with I hate comparing to Clare, but, we're going to do it. Especially in the first book, it's just kind of, there's a really hot boy, But then it's, again, also a society difference in the past compared to the present. And kudos to Cassandra Clare for
and I think
not shoving modern
I
values
think as well, Cassandra Clare, her confidence went up by, mountains.
Yeah.
By the time she'd written these books.
Yeah.
And you can feel it.
Even the first chapter, it begins with an explosion. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from?
It's sort of, I do. I greatly, greatly admire the way that she was able to make these characters. I mean, Tessa is wonderful. Will is...
Should we move on to Will?
Let's move on to Will.
Okay.
William Herondale.
If you know Jace, you can recognise
If you thought Jace was emo, meet great granddaddy, because goddamn, emo with a capital E.
Yeah,
he takes emo to some other place that Jace couldn't even dream of.
Yeah.
Although Jace does kind of get there by the end of Heavenly Fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By that point, he's there.
But it's very interesting. I kind of feel like for example, I kind of feel like, right, if you put Will and Jem at, like, the Moulin Rouge or something, then Will would be the one who is drinking absinthe with oh god, what's his name, the artist? Toulouse-Lautrec. Whereas Jem would be the one who's actually talking to him about his art.
Yeah.
Do you see what?
Yeah.
Will's like, I'm going for a good time.
Will would be dancing on the tables.
Oh yeah, with a girl or two.
And Jem would be discussing with the musicians where he got his sheet music from.
Yes.
You know.
But they are, you know, because they're connected. They are loyalty to. Loyalty is a big deal in this set of prequels.
I think loyalty is a big deal throughout the whole world.
Oh yeah, throughout the whole world, but especially in these ones,
yeah,
because of the connections and everything that they have. But Will, I feel he feels everything at a 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what it is, anger, sorrow, happiness, whatever, he is on. It's at level 10.
I wonder if Will's intensity of feeling could almost be classed as bipolarity. Almost,
maybe,
because he's so intense.
Yeah,
it's not even like
he kind of does learn to calm down, but I feel like the only time he properly is calm is in his later life.
Yeah,
when he feels settled.
Yeah, and it's
the feeling of not being settled which gets to him, even though he's lived there for many years, even though he's got Jem with him, even though he's completely secure in where he lives, his soul isn't settled.
Yeah, no.
And it's once he gets to his later life, that's when he's able to calm down.
Yes, and Jem is like his polar opposites.
Completely. You would never put them together.
He is still water.
Yeah.
And that runs very deep.
We were just saying about on the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will doesn't look like Will. No, Tessa doesn't look like Tessa.
No.
But Jem looks like Jem.
That's Jem.
That's Jem.
But do you know what I loved about it? Was looking, because I'd read the first 3.
Yeah.
Is
of the mortal
instruments. And obviously Alec is God. Just
we'll talk about him when we get to.
I love that guy, okay? I love me some Alec Lightwood. And I loved that as soon as I met Will, with his black hair and his blue eyes, I was like, oh my God, it's Alec.
Yeah.
But it's not Alec.
It's not Alec.
But it kind of is Alec. Yeah. Because he is related to Alec.
Yeah.
Through his sister.
Yeah.
Cecily.
Yeah, Cecily.
Cecily Herondale.
Cecily, yeah. So Tessa loves with her heart, but she'll say when you've crossed a line or whatever. Will loves with all of his heart. He feels intense emotions no matter what it is. And then Jem feels love with his heart, but he keeps it to himself. He's quite quiet.
He is until he's pushed.
Well, until he's pushed, but he's kind of you could see him very happily sat in the parlour in front of the fire reading for the evening.
Yeah.
And that's his contentness.
But when it's time to kick ass, Jem
it kind of feels like but Will is constantly itching to move, everything's intense, and Jem is just a still river, a still lake.
But what's lovely about it when Tessa arrives, it feels like she is the piece that they've both been missing.
Yes.
That the 3 of them were meant to be.
And it's not like it's a thing of they're both instantly attracted, that it takes time.
Yeah, it does.
Love takes time. And they acknowledge it between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And it's not like Twilight.
No.
Kind of well, in a sense you can say Team Will, Team Jem. In a sense, Jem's my boy. Jem is my boy. But in a sense. But it's not like that thing of she can only...
do you know what it is?
I'm going to kill you because if you're on Team Will instead of Team Jem. You know what I mean?
what it is it's Laura, Walter, and Marion.
Yes, it is. From
The Woman in
The
White.
Woman in White, which we've done a video about.
So the thruple mean as much to each other. So there are no teams in the sense of they are the team.
They are the team.
Everyone loves everyone.
And especially in the final chapter of the final book, when you're talking about the later years. That is an absolutely beautiful piece of writing. An absolutely astonishing piece of writing.
The memory of it is enough to
yeah. No, but you know what I mean? How it's a case of this is...
Yeah.
We're not here... It's kind of a grow-up sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're not here to... We're here out of love for each other. And I love that you... And as you said, I think this is what you said, or to the words of it.
Yeah.
That you could feel that they are all completely happy at the end, and those who aren't with us at the end, totally and utterly are happy, and they want what happens at the very end of the trilogy to happen.
And with their absolute love and blessing.
Yeah.
And nothing... There's no bitchiness. There is no bitterness.
No, nothing at all.
Because those people have had their time.
Yes.
And their souls have gone.
Yep.
But their souls love and appreciate.
Do you know that thing that we've said before about, I think it was in the Foresight Saga video, about first love being gone and then being content with another love? Yeah. All three of them are their first loves.
Yes. So
it's not a completely new love disconnected. It is the same love, just from a slightly different angle.
Yes, it is, and a love that was paused.
Yeah.
For two very good reasons.
Yeah.
But the pause button was taken off, and you feel all the people that couldn't be there.
Yeah.
They are the ones that have taken the pause button off.
Yeah.
And there is nothing but happiness and love.
And can we talk about the thing which absolutely blew my mind with Jem? You know what I'm going to say. Jem, I adore Jem. He is, I think, my favourite out of the characters from the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. I know, but as an individual character, as a pair, Malik.
No. I was going to say, as an individual, my favourite is King Magnus.
Oh, right, okay.
King Magnus. But we'll talk about that.
Yes. As an individual, Jem goes first place, Magnus is second.
Right, okay.
It's not a slight on him, it's just because I adore Jem so much.
Yeah. Well, Ghost of the Shadow Market. It's all about Jem.
I know, but I have to read the other books first.
I know.
Jem has an addiction to a certain... it's kind of a medicine in a sense.
It's opium.
It's an opium. Yeah. What's it called?
Yin Fen.
Yin Fen. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was called. Because he's ill, so he has to keep taking it, and his hair is silver because of it. And he gets to a point where certain events happen, and Tessa is with Will, and he feels something. Will feels something that he's like, what the hell is going on? And he realises that Jem's dead. And he's broken hearted about it. But as you said, in Cassandra as well, unless you see a body, it's like Riverdale. Unless you see a body, no body, no death. And he's become one of the Silent Brothers. Instead, he's given his mortal life, as it were, to become a Silent Brother.
And he's been in the Mortal Instruments.
And he was in the Mortal Instruments all along. And he's actually the first Silent Brother that Clare meets.
That's it.
And I was like, oh my god!
Oh no!
And the end. So he lives this life, and he can't be with Tessa and Will. He has to completely disconnect, as it were. But they still see each other, but only at certain events.
Yeah. Only in emergencies.
And he has to disconnect from that life as a shadow hunter. And he's there in their later years, and sees, various things, which is amazing. And then the final chapter, he appears on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Blackfriars Bridge.
Oh, Bradford Bridge. Oh, look, I was thinking New York B. Brooklyn came in my head. And he's there as his Shadowhunter self. And it was like,
gutted me. I was like,
what? And then I realised, because I had read the Mortal Instrument books, where the link was, and you had absolutely no idea where that link was, and you were in such shock, weren't you?
God!
But he was so beautiful and gracious, and it kind of feels like he's always just so thankful that he's got another day.
Yeah, because he's kind of been in suspended animation.
Yeah.
So he hasn't aged since he was 17.
No.
But then neither has Tessa, because Tessa is a warlock.
Yeah.
And Tessa stopped aging around 21, 22.
About that point, yeah.
So they look like a very young couple.
Yes.
With very old souls.
Yes.
And I mean, I never forget in City of Heavenly Fire when they were like, "Where's Brother Zachariah?"
Yeah.
Oh, he's got some meeting that he wanted to go to, and I was like, "You have absolutely no idea
what that means."
But this is the thing, isn't it? Like, if you hadn't read,
Well, when I originally read the Mortal Instruments, there's an event that happens at the end of the last book, which we'll talk about when we do the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are these people? I don't get it. What, am I supposed to know them? What? But I hadn't read the prequels. Then, for this channel, I read the prequels, reread the Mortal Instruments, and when I got to that scene, I was like, oh my god. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Cassandra, what? Do you want to kill me? But
yeah,
it was because I didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
And now I know.
Yeah. And this is why, like, now I'm reading the Bane Chronicles, and then I'm going to read Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy before I start the Dark Artifices.
See, this is why the Bane Chronicles and the Tales of the Shadowhunters are my next two books, so that we can sort of read them together in a sense, isn't it?
We can, I think, I mean, I'm going to the end. I'm going to read the rest of them.
I think I am now. I think you reading but reading these books has triggered me to want to go back.
Yeah, because you downloaded the audiobooks?
Audiobooks, yeah, but because I've been so busy the past week or so, I've only listened to like half an hour of the first one of these with Jennifer Ealey.
Right.
Yeah, it's really funny because she can do the British accent very well.
Yeah, she can switch
so easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite funny though because because it's been so long since I've seen her do something where she's not playing a British character. I kind of had that thing of, I forgot that she's actually, lives in America. She's American. I'm like, to hear an American accent, I was about like, oh.
But Cassandra has a way about her with her trilogy. So you do Foundation Stage Pain, where it hurts a little bit, but you'll be all right, okay? So then Foundation Stage, and then Intermediate Stage, where she just gives it to you, but then like a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then Higher Stage, where essentially she basically puts you on a rack, pulls, whips you, tears your hair
and then
out.
screams, "You love it!"
Yes! And then you thank her for it. This book, I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
So much pain. But having said, Clockwork Prince is also very painful.
I think 2 and 3 are the better parts of the trilogy.
Yeah,
but you have to have the foundation.
You do,
and because you're in, it's not like
building.
And it's not like you're still in New York.
No,
you're just in a different time zone.
Yeah,
you're in a completely different part of the world. So you've got to So you've got to build up the foundation. You've got no choice. But anyway, let's talk about other characters.
Okay.
So choose a character. Who do you want to talk about?
So we've done the main three. Charlotte and Henry Branwell.
Charlotte and Henry.
Who are a pair.
Yes.
But, like, Charlotte's a Fairchild, so she's, like, Clary's great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Yeah.
And that Charlotte is what Clary almost should have been, but wasn't.
Yeah.
Because
I think if you like took one out of their time zone and plonked them in the other, you couldn't really necessarily tell them apart. I think you know, in certain characteristics about them and the way that they see the world.
Charlotte's so smart.
That Charlotte is like, she's like got probably the highest IQ out of all of them in the London Institute.
And I love that she's such a leader.
Oh yeah,
and she'll do what is not necessarily the nice thing.
Yeah.
For absolutely the right reasons, like when she with Jessamine.
Yeah.
Jessamine Lovelace is a resident of the London Institute.
She is, yeah.
Who does not want to be a shadow hunter.
No.
She is by blood, but she does not want to be a shadow hunter. So she wants to marry a mundane, which is their word for a non-shadow hunter person. And she finds out that Jessamine has been spying on them.
Yeah.
So she makes it a point to bring the Silent Brothers to the Institute so that they can do something. They can use the mortal sword, which is a sword that they hold, that they have to tell the truth.
It forces you to tell
the truth.
And if you try to hold back what you want to say, it kind of burns you. It tortures you to the point that you say it.
But the thing is with it is Charlotte knew that was a necessary evil.
Yeah.
And she did it.
Yeah.
Because it was what needed to be done.
Yes.
Because Henry is nominally the head of the Institute, but it's Charlotte really that is.
Yeah.
And Henry is an amazing inventor.
He is.
And Magnus loves it. Magnus is in these books.
Yeah.
And
it's really interesting, Magnus, in these books, isn't it? Because even though he hasn't changed, you can tell there's certain things that he hasn't come across yet. And he drops, I'm pretty sure, no, it is in the Infernal Devices where he mentions how he's banned from Peru, isn't it? And that is, apparently that's one of the stories in the Vane Chronicles.
It is.
To find out why he's banned from Peru. But there's all these little quirks that he comes up with, like having had dinner with President of the United States. So, it's kind of weird things like that, having met all of these people. It's like, Magnus, seriously, you're name dropping right now. But
what I love about Magnus and Henry's relationship is that Magnus genuinely sees the genius that Henry is.
Completely. That's what I love about Magnus, is that he obviously we're going to talk about him more in more instruments, but he can see people.
Yes, he can.
And if Magnus trust someone, you know as a reader that you can trust them.
Yes.
Because Magnus is an old soul.
He is an old soul.
He's seen every character under the sun. He knows how to... He's kind of one of those people that you could just look at you and go, and he knows you, just without you saying a word.
He is someone who is so... But he's very vulnerable. That's what I love about him. Like, he's so confident in some ways, and yet behind the facade, he's very, very vulnerable.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about
him. I love my Magnus.
But Henry is, he's an amazing inventor. And he kind of just... I think because of, obviously, with the world that they live in and the dangers that come about all the time, he is just able to accept things that happen. And just go, right, that's happened. This has opened up a new chapter.
Yeah.
Let's go down that chapter.
Something very, very traumatic happens to Henry.
Yes.
Which could have been catastrophically awful for him.
Yes.
But he chooses to invent a way
for him to deal with it.
Yeah. And he does.
And it's so interesting that it's not like it takes him a long time to get to that point to invent things. Literally, it happens the next day. He's inventing what he needs to do.
He's literally sat at a desk.
Yeah, he's just sat at a desk, drawing away, and he's like, right, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. And that's going to be
it. It's like, I need you to get this and this for me, get my soldering iron and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love him.
He's very content to just make things.
And I love how, like, when they're arguing, because they can argue around the dinner table.
Oh, yeah. They can argue a lot.
And he'll just go, "Can someone get me an egg?"
Yeah.
Like, they're like, shouting at each other over something. Like, "Oh, dear, I've eaten my egg."
Yeah.
Like, he says these, like, odd things.
But sometimes, because he knows that he has to break the tension.
Yeah.
He has to stop this from happening.
Yeah.
So he doesn't run and go, "Oh, yeah, I split, yeah, go on."
Yeah.
He's just like, "Yeah, can I get an egg?" Just,
yeah. He is a love.
Yeah.
And he invents the portal.
He does.
Which
is
means,
quite important.
And the sensor.
Yeah.
And their sensors.
And their sensors, yeah.
So Henry, he's a genius.
He is a bloody genius.
He's an absolute genius.
Basically, Shadowhunters could not function
without him.
Without those things. So
and like Seraph blades as well. I love him. I love me some Henry Branwell.
Yeah.
But can we talk about the Lightwood boys?
Yes, go on then.
When I found out that Benedict Lightwood had two sons, one called Gabriel and one called Gideon, I lost my shit. I was like, because Alec's second name is Gideon. He's Alexander Gideon Lightwood.
Yeah.
And I was like, he would not be named after this man if this man was not a good man.
No.
Or a hero or something like that.
Yeah.
So when I then got to know Gideon, and I was like, okay, where's your bow and arrow, Gideon? And then his brother Gabriel came out with a bow and arrow. I was like, he's related. It's you. Yeah. You're his granddad and you're his great uncle. And I was completely in love. I literally burst into tears when Gabriel used his bow and arrow. Because that image of Alec with his bow is iconic.
Iconic for the readers of the books. Yeah. Just as kind of with the Shadowhunter series as well. It's just he always has his bow and arrow. He always.
But this is the thing. It's like the Lightwood boys are blonde.
Yes, they are.
And Alec has black hair.
Yes,
he does. So where does the black hair come from? And I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from Cecily Herondale.
It does indeed.
Will's brother. So that's why sister.
I was going to say
sister. So obviously and then Cecily. So you've got Cecily marries Gabriel Lightwood.
Yes.
So then that's Alec's family tree. Yep. And then Gideon marries Sophie Collins, another queen that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I was waiting for you to bring up Sophie because I was like, I want to talk about Sophie.
We'll talk about her. But Jace is related to Will.
Yes.
And Tessa's offspring.
Yes.
So Alec, Clary, Jace, Isabel, and Max are all related distantly.
Yes.
Which blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet who Gideon and Sophie's children are, because they're in the next set of books.
Right.
The Last Hours, which is these people's children's story.
Yeah.
Because you've got James and Lucy, who are Will and Tessa's children.
Yes.
Matthew Fairchild, who is Charlotte and Henry's son.
Yeah.
And Anna Lightwood.
Right, yeah.
Who is Gabriel and Cecily's daughter.
Yeah.
And I think she's got a brother as well.
I think you're right. I can't think.
But it's their story.
It's those kids' story.
And I'm excited.
It's going to be good.
But Sophie
Can
Collins.
we talk about Sophie?
Sophie Collins. Right.
Sophie was, for me, an absolute curveball.
Like, this woman is everything.
Where the hell did that come from? I mean, Cassandra writes so about strong women, but when I first met Sophie, I must admit, I thought she was great, but I didn't feel like much.
Yeah.
But then she's because of her where she is in with the institute and the links to the people, she's just kind of there. But Cassandra's very good at this, where she makes what is just there really, really important. And Sophie just shot up as being the
Sophie
most
is an absolute
stunning character.
Sophie is a queen. Like, and when I say that, I don't mean just like a strong person.
Yeah.
This woman has the power to make a Lightwood boy not only a better man, but how dare you make her bake scones and not eat them?
So
funniest scene.
Yeah, so Sophie works there basically
at
the institute. She's like the maid, as it were. So you see her, or you see her. You read her that she's scrubbing away at stuff, or she's cooking stuff, and it's like, oh, yeah, she's a nice little character there. Don't see what she does coming.
No,
in the slightest.
No,
and she builds her way up in this. She, in a sense, this may sound a bit weird. She is kind of a foundation stone to me for that family, because you it's that thing that you can't. With a servant master kind of world of that time, they wouldn't be able to survive in a sense without someone to feed them, to wash everything for them, sort out their cook, all that lot. So she is a hell of importance to the institute.
Oh yeah,
she
runs the domestics of the institute.
But then when you bring out her personal characteristics into and present them the way that Cassandra does, and then you see her in a completely new light. It's like,
if you think about Alec and Izzy as people, right. And I'm not talking about show Alec and Izzy because they're different things.
Yeah, book Alec and Izzy.
Book Alec and Izzy. Yeah, they are both highly driven. Kids.
Oh yeah,
and I think that idea of work ethic has come from Sophie.
Yeah,
because Sophie works her ass off.
Yeah,
even because Sophie eventually ascends.
Yeah.
Which means that she is a non-shadow hunter who was trained and has the mortal cup decides that she is capable and worthy of being a shadow hunter.
Even though she doesn't have the blood of an angel, she is worthy of being one of them.
So she
proved her worth. Yeah.
She is the foil for Simon.
Yeah, she is.
Sort of, kind of, isn't she?
Yeah, Simon's in the Mortal Instruments. So
yes. But Sophie softens herself and both the Lightwood boys.
Yeah.
She's kind of a mother hen to
it kind of feels like with me that it's that thing that if Sophie put down a plate of something in front of someone and they didn't say thank you, she'd pull them up on it. She'd like, even though it might not be her place to do that, she'll do it. Yeah. Because, she deserves thanks for what she's done.
Yeah, she is worthy of respect.
And I think that's what I mean about the foundation thing. That is not just a case of they wouldn't be able to function without her, without scrubbing the floors or doing whatever. It's the thanking people. It's loyalty. It's perseverance.
It's hard work.
Yeah. It's respect, and that completely goes through each of the generations.
Yeah. It does.
I really feel like that foundation.
I mean, frankly, the girl squad
of
Charlotte, Cecily, Sophie, Tessa, and Jessamine.
Yeah,
I want to be in that squad. Can I be in that squad?
If you want to.
Even Jessamine, Jessamine is a really interesting character.
She is, yeah,
because she didn't want to be a shadow hunter, and she gets things wrong, but.
She does something phenomenally right.
She does something so phenomenally right.
Yes. Because we've said spoilers. She does die in the course of the Infernal Devices, but she becomes a ghost. Haunts the Institute, which sounds weird. But it's
and unnecessary.
But it sounds a bit odd, a bit unnecessary. But just as always with Cassandra, everything has a purpose. So you've just got to go with it, but she gives you the payoff at the end of the final Mortal Instrument, just as with Jem with his transformation from Brother Zachariah back to himself happens about a third of the way or something into the final Mortal Instrument book. Jessamine fulfills her duty of her debt of protecting the Institute at all costs. Yeah. And she does this amazing thing.
She does. She really does.
She fulfills her debt.
Yeah, and
she can be at peace.
That's what I thought, that once she had done that, it's like she knew. She didn't know the details of when it would happen, but she knew she was needed. Yeah. And then
that's why she stayed.
And then when she finished, she was free. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. But yeah.
So I think what I really respect about Cassandra is, especially in these books, is, and with the other books as well, but in this one, no matter what social status they are all equal. Mm-hmm. No matter what sex they are, or sexuality, or nationality, or whatever, they are all equal. It kind of reminds me of the Harry Potter books, that even though you could have like Molly, who's a stay-at-home mum, versus somebody like Umbridge or Minerva, who is a teacher, no matter, even though they're not equal in their jobs, as it were, or social, because wealth or whatever, compared to like the Malfoys or whatever, they are totally equal, because magic isn't. There's no difference in how it happens compared to those elements, and that's the same with the Shadowhunters. In a sense, you could have it could be a slight difference, because obviously strength of your body with fighting and all that lot, but using the different runes and everything.
There's a story in the Bane Chronicles concerned with Edmund Herondale, who is Will and Cecily's father.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's amazing the difference that a generation can make. Yeah. Because that generation is very, very against downworlders. A downworlder is a magical non-shadow hunter.
So like werewolves and vampires
and warlocks. And it's incredible the difference that these generations make, and the building of another world where both sets of magical creatures.
Because it's very interesting, they won't accept like werewolves or whatever, but they're okay with Magnus, because Magnus is Magnus, but any other of his kind, they have issue, but then by the time the Mortal Instruments comes along, there is still that friction, but then it develops, it changes, it shifts.
What I love about it as well is that there are things in these books, like characters like Wolsey Scott, who is a werewolf, who founds a an organisation called the Praetor Lupus.
Oh, of course he does. Yes,
which basically is an organisation where they look after newbie downworlders.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
because of his relationship with Magnus. Yes. Because Magnus has a conversation with Wolsey where he tells him that he was alone when he was a child, and that he never ever wanted anyone to feel alone. Yes. And I mean, there are other reasons why he did it too.
But that's the summary.
Yeah. But it is incredible the way that she's showing these generational shifts in this world to make a kinder world. And oh my God, it's just so good. Like, anybody that tells you, that these are irrelevant, these are so not irrelevant. These are the most relevant. Yeah. I mean, look at them. I just,
they're so pretty.
Oh, do you know what their name is? Their ship name?
What? No.
Heron Greystairs.
Oh, nice. I like that. Greystairs. I like that. I'll take that.
Because there is a polyamorous throuple in the Dark Artificers. Yes. Yeah. And somebody wrote, Heron Greystairs walked so Kia Arctina could run.
Well, generational thing again.
It's the generational idea of changing in relationships, and these books are just so good. So please read them. I think I'm going to have to reread them at some stage. I'm still.
Yeah.
You're
still going through the world. So maybe when you've reached up to the point of the most recent book or something, which is not going to take you, I don't think that long, and I don't think there's as in when by the time you've reached that point, I don't think there's another book that will have been published by that time.
Oh no, I mean,
maybe
the next
you can go back.
The next book isn't published until March,
right?
Which is the first book of the last hours. Yeah.
So I've got
loads of time.
So you could always revisit after you've finished
I might well do.
Book.
We'll see.
To see where I go. You might want to break from Cassandra Clare for a bit. You don't know.
Probably not.
But no, but I'm just saying you might want to. You might want to then look at the second Discovery of Witches book or something.
Maybe.
Something like that. Just to get a different author.
Yeah.
But Cassandra, as we said, because she did the first 3 Mortal Instruments, then she wrote the prequels, and then she went back. You can see a difference in writing quality.
Absolutely.
But she's really great with these books. And yeah, I think looking back at my reviews of them, I was highly critical. But as I said, I was literally 1 book a week, so I'd have to close it, film it, upload it, start on the next book. So I was in that. So I didn't get a chance to let it sit, but now that I have let it sit and revisiting the world in my mind from you reading, I've remembered so much stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff that I'm not critical of now, which I was critical then.
Yeah.
So in a way, I regret my reviews of these books, and I definitely would recommend them. I did recommend them then, but I was a lot more critical of certain elements than I am now.
I must admit, when I read them, and then I watched your videos, and I was like, come on, I was a little bit like...
but as I said, I was in a very, got to get kind of headspace,
But these are just so beautiful. They are so gorgeous, and I'm so glad that I've read them and that I can pick up the references and
the different items,
and
places, names.
Jem Carstairs, what a man!
Yeah. Jem's my boy.
What a man.
He's my boy. But yeah.
You see, it's weird because I'm not, and I'd say this in our other one for the Mortal Instruments. I think because I'm older and I can see them as kids, I don't have that Will Herondale is my boyfriend thing.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's a kid. But I love them with a kind of maternal feeling.
It's very interesting that you actually say that, because I tend to see, I think in the Mortal Instruments, because of the way that Clare is especially, she's very childish. And
she is, because she is a kid.
And she grows up. But these ones, I see them as young adults.
Yes. Yeah.
They've got a maturity.
I do think they are slightly older at the beginning of these than the Mortal Instruments.
No, but I mean, even if they were 20 or something, you can still have that childish kind of reaction where I feel like they're about 26 or something, in regards to their maturity about approaching certain things.
But then 18 in 1878 was not what 18 is in 2007.
Well, exactly. Yeah, there is that factor as well. But I think it's always that thing that when you read books, especially from the past, that there's a different level of maturity in there because it's a society shift.
Yeah.
But I do feel, I've always felt like the people on the front covers, I'd see them as being mid-20s, and that's how I feel them as people, their souls as being.
Yeah.
They're a bit older.
Yeah.
They're a bit wiser. They're a bit more mature. Yes, they still do some silly things because they, it's bound to happen. But it's not like Clare going, oh, he's ignoring me, so I'm going to kiss this other guy just to make him jealous. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
But we'll talk about Clare.
Yeah, we'll talk about Clare in the next one. But we really recommend them. We really love them.
These are just everything.
Yes.
I was on a roller coaster for 17 days and I loved every single second of it. So thank you, Cassandra.
Yes.
Thank you so much for writing these.
Yes. So I think, are we done? I
think we're done.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to our next video about the Mortal Instruments. And we'll see you guys later. It might be a bit longer. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
There's a lot of characters and a lot more books.
There's 6 books.
6 books and
an
more characters.
awful lot of emotion to get through.
Yeah.
So we will see.
So we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And we'll be back soon with another video.
Bye.
Bye.